Welcome back to the deep dive. So you've sent us a really fascinating set of sources today.
Yeah, this is quite a departure from our usual dive.
Completely different. This isn't economic reports or white papers. It's a distillation of wisdom into something it calls the 9 pillars of spiritual alignment.
It's a wonderful contrast. And what's so unique is that the sources tell you right up front, look, you can't just learn this from a book.
No.
These are things that have to be felt, experienced. And our mission here isn't to, prove or disprove them.
Of course not.
It's to really unpack the language they use and what these pillars claim is regulating our reality, our energy.
Exactly. It's like an esoteric roadmap for feeling aligned, for letting life flow. And the 9 concepts are broken down really nicely into 3 stages. We're going to start with the biggest ones, the external cosmic regulators. Okay, let's unpack this. The first concept is Pillar 1, and it's titled, The Sun is Medicine.
Which seems so simple on the surface.
Right, but the source material just digs so much deeper than, go get your vitamin D.
It connects directly to why ancient civilizations almost worshiped the sun. The core claim is that the sun isn't just a light source, it's a profound source of information.
And the more you read, the more that idea of information.
Exactly, information. It really resonates.
It just clicks. It's about those specific light wavelengths, the ones that hit your retina, your skin, especially that morning light. That's what's regulating your entire biological clock.
We're talking about the master clock here, that little part of the brain that controls your sleep cycles, hormone release.
And your mood, your energy, everything.
And you just look at it through a modern lens, we are constantly out of sync, aren't we?
Constantly.
We spend all our time under artificial light that, it just lacks the full spectrum of the sun. It disrupts all those internal communications. The source is basically saying we've forgotten that sunlight grounds you. It recharges you on a cellular level.
It's like primal system reset. But I have to ask, what about the practical reality for, a modern person? Someone in an office, maybe living through a long, dark winter somewhere.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Is the source saying you have to be out sunbathing all the time?
Not necessarily sunbathing, no. It's more about conscious exposure. The claim is that even just a few minutes of unfiltered sunlight in the morning,
even if it's cloudy,
it's enough to signal your brain that the day has started, to kick off those critical hormonal cascades. The message is just to prioritize that exchange, even in small doses.
That makes sense. That grounding force of the sun then immediately gets contrasted with its counterpart. That's in Pillar 4. The moon strengthens your psychic abilities.
It's the perfect distinction, really. If the sun is about outward energy, focus, then the moon is all about the inward flow.
We all know the moon's gravity pulls the oceans, creates the tides.
And this source just argues that since we're mostly water ourselves, we also experience these subtle inner tides,
which affect our emotions, our intuition, our sensitivity.
Right. And I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of being a bit more emotionally open or sensitive during a full moon. But the pillar says it's not just folklore.
It's more than that.
It posits that this lunar influence actually helps us tap into abilities that rely on subtle signals, not loud logical thought.
So it's about inner listening.
Exactly. Logic is for the physical world, but intuition is our tool for the energetic world. The moon just encourages you to trust that fleeting gut feeling even when you can't rationally explain it. That trust is the basis of psychic strength, according to these sources.
So we start with the cosmic clock, the big external forces. Now we dive from the macro down into the micro, the inner mechanics of our own energy and healing.
Which brings us straight to Pillar 3, a concept you see everywhere in Eastern traditions. Prana is the life force of energy. And
the source defines prana as this invisible, non-physical force moving through everything that's alive. It's the difference between a living body and, a rock.
But it's not abstract.
Not at all. It says you access it through direct conscious action, deep breathing, meditation, just being present.
And the really profound reframing here is how it talks about the breath. If you breathe shallowly, you're only getting minimal oxygen, and so minimal prana. The moment you start that deep, conscious breath work, you're not just getting more air, you are actively drawing in and manipulating this life force.
And I see the connection now. When you're anxious, your breathing gets all shallow and rapid. So the sources suggest that by mastering your breath, you're mastering the flow of prana.
And you gain control over your internal state. You can shift yourself from that fight or flight mode into a state of calm almost instantly.
It's immediate feedback. And this mastery of internal energy, it just flows so perfectly into the next point, Pillar 8. Energies are real, and your body can sense them.
This is where we ground all that intuitive stuff physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is such a validation for anyone who feels things but can't rationalize them. The material literally describes the body as a hypersensitive biological antenna.
And we've all felt it, right?
Oh, absolutely. You walk into a room and feel this immediate heaviness, or you meet someone who, for no reason, just makes the hair on your arms stand up, even though they're being perfectly nice.
Those aren't imaginary feelings. That's the antenna processing real energetic feedback. Microexpressions, tension, maybe even the actual energy field they're projecting.
And the text says trusting those gut reactions is vital.
Because it's a survival mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah.
If your gut clenches around someone, trusting that protects your peace. It guides you to align with people and places that support you and avoid the ones that drain you.
Absolutely. And if we're constantly taking in and shedding energy through this antenna body, it stands to reason we need continuous maintenance.
Which brings us right to pillar 7. Healing is an everyday process.
This one is so important because it reframes healing. It's not a finish line. It's not like, okay, I'm fixed now.
It's a continuous practice.
Yeah.
The source says it's a journey, not a destination. And that means accepting it all.
All of it.
You're gonna have days where you feel great and days where you feel completely broken. And the message is that both of those states are part of the journey. Acknowledging that is what allows the healing to continue.
So the critical action of healing then is to stop the internal fight. Stop the self-judgment. Stop trying to be optimized and just listen. Listen to what your body, your mind, your soul is asking for in that moment. Rest, movement, whatever it is, that listening is the daily work.
And that internal alignment, that listening, it then expands our focus outward, which guides us into our final cluster of pillars.
Which is all about how our single internal state interacts with this huge universal web of creation and consequence.
To set the stage for this, we have to start with pillar 5. Everything is connected in this universe. This is really the core concept of oneness.
And what I love is how the material bridges the spiritual with the, let's say, potentially scientific.
It does. It actually mentions quantum entanglement.
Right, where two particles stay connected and influence each other instantly, no matter how far apart they are. It draws that parallel to this spiritual idea of interconnectedness.
And the implication is just profound. If nothing is truly in isolation, then every single thought and action you project creates a ripple through the whole system.
So when you heal yourself, that positive frequency isn't just for you, it uplifts the collective. And harm to another is, quite literally, harm to yourself.
And that essential interconnectedness gives real energetic weight to pillar 2. Karma is real.
Now, the source is really careful here. It's not defining karma as some cosmic judge with a ledger.
No punishments, no reward.
It's purely universal cause and effect.
It's more of an energetic resonance system than a credit score. Every intention creates a ripple. Every action leaves an imprint. If you operate from a place of awareness and integrity, you create a positive resonance that finds its way back.
So it's not about some external reward, it's about internal friction.
Exactly.
If you act against your own alignment, you're constantly pushing a boulder uphill. But if you align your intentions and actions, life just starts to flow. It's a self-regulating system.
And if the universe is this one vast, responsive entity, well, that leads us right to conscious creation.
Here's where it gets really interesting. This brings us to pillar 6. Manifestation and lucid dreaming are real.
I love this one. If everything is connected and responds to our consciousness, then the mind is not just a passive observer.
It's an active creator of reality.
The material suggests that whatever you repeatedly hold in your focus, what you saturate your mind with, literally begins to shape your reality.
Yeah.
But, and this is a big but, it's not just wishful thinking.
No, it requires a powerful, aligned triumvirate, as the source calls it.
Let's break that down. What are the 3 ingredients?
First, a crystal clear intention. You have to know exactly what you're calling in.
Second, powerful emotion. You have to feel the reality of that intention as if it's already here.
And third, the hardest one, absolute belief, the total absence of doubt. When those 3 align, this system has to respond.
And lucid dreaming is thrown in there as the proof of concept.
Right.
When you're lucid in a dream, you're outside physical rules. You can create worlds, fly, whatever, because your consciousness is free from the limiting beliefs of the waking world. It just shows the raw creative power of the mind.
So lucid dreaming shows us that consciousness can create realities. Manifestation is just applying that same power, that aligned intention, emotion, and belief to this material world.
It's the ultimate expression of that universal connection we talked about. Our consciousness is actively weaving the web of reality.
Wow. Okay, so we've journeyed through cosmic influence, internal energy, and this universal web of consequence. But the material saves the most essential pillar for last.
The foundational medicine.
Pillar 9, so simple, but it's revolutionary in its place in the hierarchy. Happiness and self-love are medicine.
And this truth stands alone because the sources are so clear that nothing else, not the sun, not breathwork, not rituals, can replace this core internal alignment. This is the source.
And let's look at the physical mechanics it spells out. Why is self-love medicine? When you operate from a place of true self-acceptance, your nervous system shifts.
It automatically moves into that parasympathetic state.
You're out of fight or flight.
Exactly. You move out of that constant state of stress that just burns through your energy and compromises your health. When your nervous system relaxes, your immune system strengthens, inflammation goes down, your mind clears. It's pure physiological maintenance.
And the definitions here are so key. Happiness isn't some shallow positivity. It's defined as pure alignment with your true self. And self-love isn't ego. It's defined as survival, the most essential fuel to keep that internal antenna working right.
So what does this all mean? When you line up all 9 pillars, from the solar information that grounds us to the energies we sense to the self-love that sustains us, they all point to the same unified truth.
That your experience of the outer world is a direct reflection of the state of your inner world.
And as the sources say over and over, these aren't lessons to just believe or debate.
They're meant to be observed, felt, and experienced by you directly. So we encourage you, observe the energy in the rooms you enter, feel how your body responds to your breath, listen to those subtle signals from your intuition.
And here's the final provocative thought that we take away from this dive. If awareness truly grows when it's shared, as these teachings claim, then the most profound action you can take to influence reality isn't some grand gesture.
It's just the commitment to staying conscious, staying grounded, and committing to your own evolution every single day. The massive shift starts with the singular, mindful moment